Grand Rising. How are you, Crowllies? This is another pop-up live stream. Thank you so much for those of you that have your notifications on. You get the first view on this live stream. For those of you that are joining me later on the replay, welcome. If you are not subscribed yet, go ahead and subscribe to get these messages. Okay, so today we are channeling a crow call message. It's very, very early, and the crows are calling. They have a message for you. So let's see what is going on. All right, this is specifically going to be a known timestamp reading. I'm just letting you guys know ahead of time. All these messages are going to specifically be messages from your ancestors, your spirit guides. We're going to see what's going on. Anything can come out, everything can come out. So wish yourselves. Let's see what's going on. Why are the crows calling today? What is important? What do they need to know? By the way, you guys, we are currently, when I'm recording this, we are currently in the pre-shadow period of Mercury retrograde. Mercury retrograde begins, I want to say, let me pull it up for you guys, because I just recently posted a post in the community tab as well about it. So that might help you guys out. So we're in the pre-shadow period. The actual Mercury retrograde starts November 9th and it lasts all the way to November 29th. So you guys have been having issues with communication, delays, just like misunderstandings and things of that nature. Okay. You guys can go ahead and check out that post that I posted. Page number 222. Yeah, that could be affecting you guys. All right. If you're watching the replay, and I think this would be kind of the indication of checking your calendar, checking the Mercury transits, and making sure it is not Mercury retrograde, or there's not a planet in retrograde energy or pre-shadow retrograde energy causing issues, all right, for you. All right. So let's see what's going on. Okay, that's a good pre-shuffle right there. I feel like energy cleared. All right, let's see. Loading. All right, 3 cards. Let's see what's going on here. Of course, we have third-party energy here. Somebody's trying to dominate somebody. Third-party old romantic partners. Why does it always happen? Angel number 333. Why is it that every time Mercury goes into retrograde, somebody wants to clear the air about something, and it just makes it worse versus better? All right. Deities are here. Some of you guys work with deities. Let me see what's going on there. Somebody's getting psychic readings on you? What the heck? But it's funny because someone's trying to tap into either watching readings. Okay. This doesn't really necessarily feel like paying for readings. I'm just going to be clear about that. This feels like somebody is watching readings or attempting to read your energy, like without your permission, right? Would I say like this is like cross-watcher energy? I don't really think so. I feel like someone's like trying to read you, like read your energy. Let me be more specific. I feel like someone's trying to read your energy, and they could be utilizing divination, or they could be kind of like, you know how you kind of test the waters, to see like someone's, like how somebody's doing, or to see if someone still likes you or still cares about you, like something like that. Okay, so somebody could be doing psychic readings on you. So this could look like, how do you how do they feel about me, um what are their thoughts about me, um not necessarily on the sexual side, but more on like the emotional side, like hidden truths and stuff like that, which is interesting because I have an up and coming live stream next week about the hidden truths. So that might apply to you. But from what I'm seeing here, someone is doing some sort of psychic readings. But here's the kicker, it's confusing them. Angel number 555. So it's like the energy keeps changing, it keeps changing, it keeps changing. And they're like, well, hold on, wait. Like the last reading it said this, and this reading says that. And what? Like, so they're being confused by psychic readings, okay? For some of you, if you know someone, there we go. If you know someone that is into divination, if you know someone that is into this side of the spiritual spectrum, right? I feel like, they don't know your next move. And that's the kicker. They don't know your next move. Okay. And if this is a psychic that they're going to, meaning like if they're watching a reading or something like that on one of the social media platforms and stuff, the psychic themselves are not allowed to read your energy. And this is the form of protection that you have. So the psychic that they may be going to on a social media platform, or just like watching, if they're not pulling, divination tools themselves, right? Um, is basically like they get a lot of messages misconstrued in regards to your energy. But again, I feel like that's a part of your protection. Um, for very, very few of you, this is like less than 5% is what I'm hearing. Um, there's somebody that's actually paying someone to pull cards on you or do some sort of divination, based off of like, what are you going to do next, and how do you truly feel about them, and things of that nature. Okay, back to the deity message. Okay, you could have been working with a deity or deities, plural. Um, they want a different kind of offering. Okay, so if you recently gave an offering to one of your deities or your deity, okay, um, they want a different offering. They said try something else. Okay, I don't know if you're doing something on repeat. They want something different. All right, or whatever you tried recently is not something that they want. Make sure that it's one of their favorite items. And they also want you to light a candle upon giving the offering and make your request, meaning, um, speak to them. Tell them, as you're lighting the candle, hey, blank deity, I would like for you to assist me with my healing journey. I would like you to assist me with finding clarity. I would like you to assist me in my spiritual gift development. I would like you to assist me with my financial issue or problem. I would like you to assist me with dot, dot, dot. You fill in the blank, right? I'm just giving you an example. But make sure that you light a candle and you make your request. Some of you guys, if you're not comfortable with just speaking, to your deity, which if you're working with a deity, you should be comfortable speaking to them. Don't ever work with any type of energy without feeling comfortable speaking to them, because that's a part of the, you know, spiritual practice. You have to talk to them. You can't just, you don't ever command, you request. Okay. Let's get that straight. You don't ever command, you don't ever demand, you ask, you request. This is what I would like. Could you help me? Show me a sign, right? Stuff like that. And you could also, let's say it's a lot of things, and maybe you want to do it petition style. You want to write a letter. I've done that myself sometimes. So you could just write a letter, put it under the candle, and just, say, hey, my request is under this candle. I took my time with writing it. I put all my energy in it. Please consider my request and give me a sign. Don't ever just make the request and don't ask for a sign. You need to ask for a sign so that way you know that they received the request, or that they, are going to follow through with that request. Okay. And that message is specifically for those of you that, are working with a deity or deities, plural. All right. Let's see what else. All right, 3 again. 3 could be significant for you guys. 3 could be significant. All right, let's see. All right. Give us 3. Why is protocol so important for today? Why did it come so early? It was so early. Something about a year. Okay. Yemaya. Yemaya's on the bottom of the deck. Yemaya, Yemoja. Okay, God, ancestors came through. Odin. The letter A could be significant. Okay. Awesome. God and ancestors are here. Elegua, of course, 3. Elegua, Yemaya, Yemoya. A year, 365 days, harvest, completion, time and cycles. So they want you to know about something that has been happening in a pattern. Okay. I'm not sure if, like, let's say a year is significant, or 365 days, which, that is a year, but 365 days in terms of a cycle, okay, could be significant. If you are giving a offering specifically to Elegua, it's really funny because all the offerings came out specifically for Elegua. Yemaya is trying to communicate with you, which is a little bit different. Okay. I don't think Yemaya needs an offering, if you guys were asking. Okay. I don't think Yemaya needs an offering. I heard she would like one. She's not demanding one. She's not, saying like, you need to do this right now. No, she would like one, but she doesn't need one right now. But I feel like Elegua, Eshu, may need an offering. Okay, a different kind of offering. So think back of the last offering, that you gave, especially if it was recently. Okay. So Elegua likes sweets. We are talking candy. We're talking sugar, like lollipops, caramels. Like the little bowl candies. You know what I'm talking about? Like you put it in a bowl because it has little wrappers in it. Those types of candies. What else? He likes black coffee with sugar, toasted corn, cigar, rum, guava. You can get guavas or guava paste, cornmeal. Okay. He likes cornmeal balls. By the way, Elegua is a what I would call a gender neutral energy. Elegua can come in the form of a woman or a man. So Elegua is the masculine energy, Eshu is the feminine energy. Palm oil is good as an offering. Usually, what I would do if you have a statue, I would grab some palm oil and rub the statue with palm oil all over. That's a good offering. Um, or if you don't have, let's say, this statue, um, and you're not comfortable with getting the statue just yet, then you can rub palm oil on the candle and use that as an offering. Cowrie shells is also good, which is interesting. Cowrie shells is good for Elegua and Yemaya. So maybe Yemaya is like, yeah, you could get me some cowrie shells. I'll be cool with that. Because I'm seeing like the what is that? The connection. There we go. Like the similarities. What else am I seeing here? If you're gonna do a cigar, make sure you light it, you puff it, and you puff it onto the candle or you puff it onto the statue, and then you leave the cigar on next to the candle or next to the statue, depending on what you have, um, for Elegua, and let it burn by itself. Basically, in essence, spiritually, he will be taking his puffs and smoking. Um, what else here? So going back to your message, right? So something in regards to you were supposed to harvest something last year around this time. And there's a situation now we're talking about the third party old parties, that's funny. Third party old romantic partners, third party old parties. What does that mean? Um same thing, over and over again. It's getting old. That's kind of what I'm picking up, right? Um, so your God, your most high, the God of all people, right? The most high, right? God, your ancestors are working together. Okay. Your deity or deities want to help you with the third party old romantic partner situation that's been going a cycle over and over again. Elegua is good for opening roads. Elegua is good for closing roads. Elegua is good for um, psychic communication. Okay. There is no type of mediumship without Elegua. You cannot connect with your ancestors. You cannot connect with, the spirit realm without Elegua. Elegua is the gate holder. Um, and so that being said, certain spells don't go through unless Elegua is asked, right? Um, People can't have access to your energy unless Elegua is asked, right? And this is more Yoruba and Lokumi Santeria tradition. If we're talking a little bit more European style, this would be the Hecate energy, right? Because everybody has their own deities and gods that they worship. So it would look a little bit different based off of your tradition. You fact check that for yourself. I'm not going to tell you what to believe in. But I will say, that's what I'm seeing here, right? Um, you completed something already. That's the protocol. You completed something already. But the third party or romantic partners could be like tapping into your energy. And then so the crow call alert was basically like, hey, FYI, people are tapping into your energy. There's someone tapping into your energy, and you need to protect your energy. If Elegua is here, then that may be like you may need to close your energy. Okay. There's something here in regards to closing your energy or protecting your energy so that way you're not allowing these energies in. I don't feel like you're doing it on purpose. I just feel like it could be a situation that there like they're getting in. I'm seeing like through the cracks. So they're getting in through your pain. Okay. Let me elaborate on that. And I'm seeing what is that? That's a blue jay? Yes, that's a blue jay. This is the third sighting of a blue jay. And there was a blue jay call yesterday as well. Okay, so blue jay omen right now. And she just flew away. So I will say, going back to what I was saying, when it comes to people like pulling on your energy, there we go. When it comes to people pulling on your energy or attaching themselves to your energy, they can only do this when you have wounds. Okay. It's almost like, think about mountain climbing. Okay. Mountain climbing, when you have the grapple hooks and stuff like that, you cannot mountain climb on a flat surface, a non-cracked surface. Why? Because it has nothing to grab onto, right? And then you can't pull to climb up. You get what I'm saying? So there has to be like a crack. There has to be um, like a dent or um, like a little gap somewhere for the grapple hook to hook onto, right? That being said, I will tell you, when using this analogy, I'm talking about your wounds. I'm talking about what you're currently healing. I'm talking about what you suffered. I'm talking about those triggers and that trauma. They're utilizing that pain to get in. You know, I'm hearing this is something you're currently working on. This is something you've been currently working on for almost a year. All right, a complete cycle of healing, whatever that is, whatever you've been experiencing for this past year. But they're still utilizing that to have access to your spiritual energy and your emotional energy. So you may need to ask for protection specifically um, with your spiritual energy, and maybe perhaps more healing, right? Yemaya is also good for healing. Um, that may benefit you, okay? In terms of like them reading your energy or trying to tap into your energy and stuff like that, you may need to ask Elegua to basically disconnect that, have like a force field around you. Let's get some more messages. All right, we have a 9. And we're going to go ahead and pull from these. Why was the crow call today important? Oh God, that was a lot. I know for a fact it's not. Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, that is a lot. Okay. Toxic person. This means you can only talk to them at certain times while putting yourself first. Okay, so this is somebody you could be dealing with. We have hidden intentions. Healthy relationship in the reverse. You may need to focus on healthy relationships right now, okay? Especially when in regards to sharing your feelings, sharing your thoughts, okay? Whether or not you feel comfortable enough to establish healthy boundaries with someone by sharing your feelings, your hopes, and your fears, right? I feel like you may have shared information with someone that you shouldn't have. All right, we have gaslighting here. Again, a toxic person, someone that doesn't apologize to you, they don't take accountability, they make you feel guilty when they are basically in the wrong, or they're wrong about something and then they flip it on you. You never get anything right? Everything you do is wrong, right? These are behaviors, these are things that you've been healing from, right? Or that you're currently healing from. And I feel like all of this has something to do with the crow call. Let's see what the hidden stuff is. All right. Someone wants to keep the connection going. That's what's hidden, right? but they're a gaslighter. They've gaslighted you before. So this is kind of showing me, like just looking at everything right here, right now. Um, the person tapping into your energy or that they're warning you about, right? Because this is urgent and it's very early. Um, Something about like becoming reactive and defensive. Like you're like someone's making you question yourself or making you question your healing journey or making you question relationships, making you question your intuition, making you question your hearing your spiritual beliefs, okay? And what their true intentions are is to um, make you feed into that, all right? Um, but that's what they want as the abuser. They want to basically coerce you to believe what they want you to believe, right? Um, but you have to be careful with that, is what I'm hearing. So, what I would say is be careful with tapping into readings um, from third party old romantic partners. In order to protect your energy, do not tap into readings about old romantic partners or third party situations because you are opening a portal. There's something that I'm seeing like you're opening a portal, you're not closing the portal. And the only deity that can help you with that would be Elegua to close, like to finally complete that chapter and close that so that way you don't have to deal with that. Because you guys have been healing from non-committal energy, friends with benefit situations, um, sexual rendezvous and stuff like that. Like basically people that wouldn't take you seriously in terms of a relationship, right? Um, it's like a one and done, or it's like all over the place whenever they come up. You just have to be ready, doormat energy, right? Um, and then they flip it on you, saying, gaslighting statements like, you're making everything up, you're blowing things out of proportion, it's not that deep, you know, you're making a big deal out of nothing. But those intentions are basically for the purpose of your overreaction. It's almost like they downplay your overreaction when you should be overreacting, if you get what I'm saying. And I don't even want to say overreacting, but when you should be reacting, right? Um, Especially when you're trying to establish a healthy relationship or healthy boundaries, right? So this mutual feeling based connection that you're searching for right now is trust. And so that means that you're healing trust issues right now. And so that's how they're getting in. They're getting in through the wound of trust issues. And if you start to heal those trust issues, there, like, especially when it comes to like trust of self, trust of your spirit guides, trust of the Most High, trust of your ancestors, right? No one can shake you, right? And that's the thing here. No one's going to be able to shake you. That person's not going to be able to grapple their way back in, right? They can't manipulate you into trusting them again, right? And that's the thing. I feel like that's what was happening. So for those of you that you feel like, hey, I think that this person, well, let me break this down. It could be this person that you dealt with that you're healing from, or it could be the third party connected to this particular person that is doing this. So there's only two different like ways that this can go. Okay. The one way would be the person that you're healing from is, dabbling and pulling on your spiritual energy, right? Getting some sort of readings on you, trying to do divination themselves, or like scrolling on a social media platform and getting readings on you, right? Or it could be the third party that's connected to this person that you're healing from that is purchasing readings, or they are divining themselves and they're getting confused and they're like losing out on their money. Okay. That being said, usually when a deity is asking for an offering, it's because they have been doing something for you with or without your request. Okay. That being said, it could have been Yemaya or it could have been Elegua. I will say recently in the past collective energy, I did get a lot of threes. I did get a lot of a male deity needs an offering, and now he's revealing himself. Okay, so let's get some more information for you. Let's pull these to the side. We'll pull these to the side real quick. This right here. That works. All right, 7. Let's see what's going on for you guys. What's the vibe? Oh, on the table. What's going on? Thrills. So I don't know why I'm picking this up, but like somebody gets really excited to tap into your energy. Someone gets like really, there's something about watching readings about you or doing readings on you or paying for readings about your life that is exciting to someone. Okay. Burn bridges. Hopeful. Lack of trust is here again. Disloyalty. Turn back on. Okay, so I'm seeing this two different ways. If this is the person that you're healing from that's tapping into your energy, then this person is thrilled to hear about how you're not over them, how you're still broken, or how you're still thinking of them. I don't know what this is. It's almost like an ego trip type of situation that's happening right here, like a power play type thing. And if it's not this, then again, there's two different versions, right? It could be the version of like, okay, it's the person that you're healing from, or the version of it's the third party connected to that person, right? If it's that version of the third party, I'm seeing like this person gets a kick out of like you and that person not being together, or that person hurting you, right? It's like really like petty and disgusting, to be honest. It's really low vibrational energy. So it's like this definitely feels like a karmic third party that gets a kick out of, oh yeah, they got hurt, or oh yeah, they're not together, or you know, oh yeah, this person disrespected them, or they treated them bad, or like, or they're not talking anymore, or there's something there in regards to that. And um your spiritual team is saying keep your distance. All right. Stay separated. Because between both of these versions, it doesn't matter. I don't care if it's happening simultaneously, the both versions at the same time. You're supposed to keep your distance from both of them. All right. Look at that. Karmics. Don't stoop into the karmics energy. Okay. Don't stoop to their level. Okay. What's going on here? Why is that crow call? Look at this. Recharge. Recharge. It's from 3333. Recharge. Let it go. Clear your mind. All right. If it's the person that you're healing from, they're projecting these emotions so that way you don't get over them and then you come right back. If it's the third party trying to figure out, like testing the waters, seeing like, all right, are they together? Should I, slide back in? Or, for some of you guys, if we're talking, because I did say something about like spell work and stuff like that. If we're talking about Elegua, we're talking about asking for permission and stuff like that. I just feel like you are protected. Don't feel like you're not. You are protected because God and your ancestors are here. So that means that God and your ancestors have been protecting you. Elegua is showing up because something has been petitioned to him in regards to you, especially if you haven't been working with Elegua. This is like a disclaimer, like you haven't been working with Elegua, you haven't been giving Elegua no offerings, maybe you stopped working with Elegua, a year ago or something like that. You completed your time with working. This would be like what is that, devotee time to Elegua, right? You parted ways or whatever. You don't really when it comes to devotees and initiatives, like an initiation, the initiation practices with your deities is completely different. That's like your whole life. You're dedicating your whole life to this. Devotees is like, I'm going to dedicate a year to you. I'm going to dedicate, 6 months or 3 years or whatever to you. And then we're going to beautifully part ways, right? Not in a negative way, but like, we're going to part ways. I'm gonna leave your last offering and that's it, right? You can always reconnect. When you're a devotee, you can always reconnect with a Orisha or a deity, God, goddess, whatever you want to call them, okay? A spiritual being, a higher power spiritual being, okay? You could always reconnect with them, especially if you're a devotee. However, if you are an initiate or you're thinking about initiating, then this is like a every single day at a certain time has to be done, period. All right. This is like a very, very important role that you play on the spiritual side. But for my devotees, it looks like, maybe you haven't been working with Elegua, or maybe you haven't recently been giving any offerings and stuff like that. And Elegua has been showing up in your readings like, yo, you got a message. Yo, something's going on. Like behind the scenes, yo, hello. And to the point that he had to show up, like, hello, it's me. It is me. It is I, Elegua, Eshu, that is talking to you, right? So that being said, like I don't know what's happening here with this karmic energy that wants to attach itself to you, right? But they're no good. They're coming out as envious, right? They could have maybe you didn't know that they were karmic at some point in time. Maybe they were hiding the fact that they were karmic energy, right? Because karmas came out in the reverse. So that means either you didn't know that this person was a karmic, the person that you're healing from, or you didn't know that they were attached to a third party energy that was karmic, and it then started bleeding into your energy, but you're recharging right now. You're letting go some things, you're healing. You have to clear your mind. When I talk about clear your mind, I'm talking about like the gaslighting situation. So like you're in a reprogramming phase in your healing journey where you got to reprogram all the trigger statements, all the trigger actions and stuff like that could have taken place and stuff like that. The emotional triggers and stuff like that. You're working on this right now, is what I'm hearing. Okay. You need to let go of these people. You need to let them go. You need to either let them go emotionally, mentally, or spiritually. Okay. Let's see what's going on here. Why is the crow call important? Some of you guys may need to visit the beach. Now, I know we're in this transition phase of like, okay, Mika, it's getting cold outside. And I know I get that. That doesn't mean that you have to get into the water and the beach, but maybe collecting the sea salt water in a gallon or two, bring like 2 or 3 empty jugs, fill them with the sea salt water, and then go take it home and take a bath with it, like do something like that. I feel like it will really help you, even if it's just taking your shoes off, your socks off, and dipping your feet in the water and asking for Yemaya to anchor you again, to clear your energy. You're talking about like, hey, Mika, I don't have a beach near me. I don't know how you think you want me to do that. I don't think I can do that. Well, guess what? Go get some sea salt. Go get some sea salt and make sure that when you make your batch of sea salt, you make it very salty. Okay. Remember, you're not drinking it. It's okay. Like, you're not drinking it. So, like, if you have to use the whole container of sea salt, right? Do it, right? I just feel like it will make you feel so much better. Okay. It will make you feel so much better. especially for those of you that haven't soaked in a bath in a long time. All right, let's see. Wishful thinking. Block. You block this person. See, this is the thing. They're just doing these things because they have like this illusionist thoughts that well, let me just check in and see if they moved on. Oh, they're not with somebody else, so that means they still not over me, or they still not over that person that I'm attracted to, right? So like, I'll be honest with you, that second chance next to the block, like, come on. I just feel like they don't believe that you're not going to talk to them anymore, right? That could be the reason why they're doing the readings and stuff like that, right? Because you have nothing to say, but they're like, oh, maybe they do. Maybe they do have something else to say. They're not saying it to me, and so let me do it. Like, let me go ahead and do a reading. Let me see what this reading is about. And if it's again the other version of like if it's the third party attached to the person that you're healing from, then it most likely is like, well, they're not talking to each other, but let me really see what this person feels about this person, right? Because just because you're not saying out loud, or just because you're in a little fight, doesn't mean that you don't care about them anymore. So that's what I'm seeing. Okay. And then we have running. At least you're not trying to escape. All right. But they are talking about those boundaries. Those boundaries are in the reverse, and that's a problem. Okay. So there's something here in regards to working on trust issues and working on healthier boundaries. All right. Um, you're not defending yourself. And I said that before in one of the previous readings. You're not defending yourself, Crowllies, and that's a problem. Okay. Defending yourself also means like there's offensive and defensive magic, okay, spiritually. In order to protect yourself, yes, you could put a shield on and stuff like that, but you need to know when it's time to banish the energy. You need to know when it's time to transmute it, and then you need to know when it's time to send it back, okay? And I'm seeing like it's time for you to defend yourself. Defending yourself means blocking the energy. All right. Because I feel like, and I think this is time for you to accept it, right? No more excuses. No more excuses. It's not about running away or, hiding, right? Because once we get into our healing journey, we get into this like very testy phase of like, okay, well, I want to block all my socials so that way they don't see anything. And in a way, you think about that, that's like you're kind of hiding from the person. You're kind of hiding out from the person so that person doesn't talk to you, or that person doesn't reach out to you, or you're excluding that person from your life, right? If you think about it, like if you really didn't care anymore, you wouldn't care if that person scrolls on your social media, if they comment on your social media, if they like anything. Why? Because you would have self control. You would have enough self control not to react. The reacting comes from the gaslighting. What do you need to heal? Trust issues and the gaslighting. That's what you need to heal right now. Healthier boundaries. Healthier boundaries sometimes doesn't have anything to do with the other person. It has something to do with you. Healthier boundaries is like, you know what? I don't have to respond. I don't have to pick up the phone. I don't have to change my number for you. Why do I have to change my number? Right? There's no reason I have to change my number. I can block you. I don't care if you get 10 different numbers to try to call me. I can block you every single time. You get what I'm saying? I think in some phones there's a feature to block unknown numbers. You get what I'm saying? Like if it's not saved in your phone, you could block them. So that being said, you don't have to change your whole life to make it more accommodative for them not to be in it. No, you need to make your life more accommodated for you. Okay. So for those of you that you just completely like left the social media profile, you then felt like you had to then create a whole new one. You had to create like a whole new environment for you. You were running. You're running from who you are, from what you used to do, what you used to love. Stop doing that. Elegua is not a runner. He's a fighter. Elegua used to, I don't know if you guys know the story of Elegua. Elegua used to get picked on. Elegua had to literally square up with all the Orishas and fight them and earn his title. Okay? So that being said, like, Elegua's message to you is like, don't fucking run. Don't hide your face. Don't be ashamed. It's your story. Okay, so if that means that you gotta tell it, okay, so you're my friend, you want to be friends with me on social media, let me air you out so everybody know who you want. I'm gonna make you feel just as uncomfortable as you made me feel. Same thing with third party situations. Oh, you want to go ahead and follow my social media account and see what the heck I'm doing? I'm not gonna hide what I'm doing just because I have to make you feel comfortable. That's not fair to you. Let it go. Do what you're going to do. Recharge how you're going to recharge. Don't hide your faith. Don't hide your religion. Don't hide your hobbies. Don't hide your spiritual practices. You get what I'm saying? You guys want to be closeted witches? That's cool, whatever. Don't sit there and create a whole new different personality that is not you, because that's not going to work, especially if you're in your healing journey. You're negating everything that you're doing and everything that you believe in by doing that. Okay. Um, so that's what I'm seeing in regards to the boundaries. And look, boundaries and what's underneath that. Bam. Papa Michael. Papa Michael's here. Like, yo, you're protected. And sometimes you need intervention. Sometimes certain things can't work out in your favor. Like they can't work out in your favor because it wasn't really supposed to go that way. You were supposed to have a different storyline, right? And your storyline is so much better without these people that are so newsy. Because that's what I'm seeing. Like the person that you're healing from, they're newsy. The third party connected to that person that you're healing from, they're newsy, right? Their karmic energy is like all up in your energy. Like for why? For what reason? Right? For why? For what reason? Okay, let's see. What else do we need to know? All right, 6. Let's get some sacred soul messages. Yeah, this crow call is crazy today. 6. Mm-hmm. Why is that another verse? Oh my gosh. The heart. Ooh, what is that? Your heart is in an ocean. Find yourself in its hidden depths. Life journey. Finding purpose. True love. And if this is in reverse, you feel like your heart is dried up. Your heart is dried up. I have nothing else to give. Leave me be. Let me refill myself in the ocean. Let me refill my cup. That's how you feel, okay? You don't understand the purpose of what the heck happened between the situation and the reason why you had to heal. You don't understand it. All right. You realizing that it's not true love, though. At least you're taking accountability on that. Like, all right, this is not love. I don't know what the heck that was, but that's not love, right? Whatever's going on with that third party, that ain't love, right? So you're trying to find yourself again. Trying to find yourself again. You can't find yourself if you focus on people focusing on you. It's kind of like when you drive in a car. You drive in a car, you can't focus on the destination that you're headed in if you worrying about people crossing the street coming close to the car. You get what I'm saying? Yeah, you're supposed to pay attention to your surroundings, have healthy boundaries, right? You don't want to hit anybody crossing the street, correct? You want to make sure that nobody tries to, get in your car all crazy. You know what I'm saying? Healthy boundaries, protecting yourself, paying attention to your surroundings as you're heading to your next destination. Your next destination is being healing, right? You can't focus on that if you're focusing on the pedestrian karmics. Okay, you can't focus, on that if you're paying attention to the civilian, ex romantic partner. Like you can't. That's not working for you. You need to stop that. You really do. You really need to stop that. All right. That is so cute. It's funny because we're getting close to Halloween season. Um, I am not this hair. I am not this skin. I am the soul that lives within. Beneath the surface, looks can be deceiving. Again, going back to maybe this person made you feel like, I don't know, you were an alien in your own body. Um, these messages are really deep today. You felt like you were alien in your own body, like you didn't have love for yourself anymore, or the love for yourself started to, you know, wither away. It's time to really reconnect with yourself again. Everything that you used to love about yourself, figure out a way to start healing that. Okay. Healing is not just about talking it out or journaling it out or, talking about it in therapy. It's also about doing the things that you love again, feeling alive again, feeling happy again, feeling joy again, feeling peace, feeling content with your life, right? Everything that I'm hearing was stolen from you because of this experience. All right. So everything that you feel like you don't feel comfortable in anymore is what you need to get comfortable with again. That's what I'm seeing here. Because I kind of feel like it's scary for you. It's scary to be in your skin, or it's scary to love your body, or it's scary to, I don't know, do your hair how you used to do it, or, change your hair maybe how you used to change your hair, or there's something here, like, I don't know exactly what it is for you guys. It could definitely be appearance wise, but you got to remember your spirit is you. Your physical flesh is going to wither away. It's going to get old and stuff like that. Like, yeah, we can always pamper ourselves and stuff, but you got to feed your soul. Once you feed your soul and your soul feels happy, everything else is just going to fall in line, All right, let's see. We have laugh as much as you breathe, love as long as you live. Have fun, enjoy life, nurture relationships. Again, healthy boundaries as you're nurturing relationships. That's how the relationships are good, that the relationships are solid. Again, having to laugh, enjoying your life, right? Don't be worried about these people tapping into your energy. Be precautious, but don't put all of your energy and attention to them, because that's not going to help you. It's going to make you miserable almost. Like, it's going to have you, what is that called? Like living in the state of paranoia, right? The light, okay? It is your light that lights up the world. Self-resilience, brilliant ideas, and time to shine. Yeah, there's no need. It's almost like, imagine if a celebrity, like a musician, or I don't know, a movie star, okay, were to completely fall off the face of the earth after, and I'm talking about like their social media platforms specifically, fall off the face of the earth after a breakup. I mean, yeah, they all have these crazy breakups and stuff like that, because celebrity breakups are crazy. Okay, they're really crazy. They're wild. All right, but like, can you imagine if like a celebrity or a movie star artist would just like stop posting on all their social media accounts and create new social media accounts? None of their fans would find them anymore. Do you understand? Like none of their fans will find them anymore. So they would have to start from scratch. Like almost like they're creating a whole new identity. Like that doesn't, I don't feel like it's gonna work for you. And your spiritual team is like, yo, we need to correct this. We understand that you're trying to ride the wave, but you're gonna wipe out if you keep doing that. Okay, so you're not the one that's supposed to change. These people are. That's what I heard. Oh, this is like a little lantern thing, I feel like, right? But this little thing in the middle kind of looks like an evil eye. And I think there's like a orangey yellow color. So that could be significant in terms of, it's funny because I have a yellow evil eye bracelet. Yeah. Huh. It's like, I know you are tired, but come. This is the way. Renewal. Keep going. Your path is revealed. Listen, so whatever you've been doing, you're doing the right thing. Okay? You're getting on the track. Whatever idea you recently had, like, hey, this is what I'm gonna do next for my healing journey, you're on the right track. Okay? Keep doing that. Right? If you recently, when I say recently, I'm hearing the past 3 months. The past 3 months, you were doing something in your healing journey, and then you kind of like went back, and then you started healing again, right? And then you kind of went back, and you started healing again, and you kind of went back. Whatever this practice is, continue to do it. Don't stop. Don't stop. Okay. Don't stop. You got this. And then he astronaut. It's funny because that is planetary situations could also be affecting you in your healing journey and like all this energy too, because I just feel like that's what's going on. Stop playing it small. You are the universe in ecstatic motion, courage, moving forward, making progress, taking action. All right. That's important. Okay. Life is a balance of holding on and letting go, of holding on and letting go. You need to let go. Stay steady, go with the flow, do the right thing. Do the right thing. Do the right thing for you, not for them. Do the right thing for you. Okay? Because that's what I'm seeing here. That's what needs to take place. I'm also going to go ahead and pull some of these. This is a new deck, the Charming Fools and True Lovers deck. This will probably give you some indication of who this person could be. All right. Let's see what comes out here for you guys. All right. Who is this person? Is it 3 for the urgent crow call? Who is this person? Who is this person for the urgent crow call? Who is this person for the urgent crow call? All right, we have the farmer and the fashion designer. That's funny because the fashion designer was actually on the bottom of the deck. The farmer and the fashion designer. And I told you guys that the crow call came in very, very early. The crow call came in like around 7 a.m. Eastern time. That's 6 a.m. Central time. And that is 4 a.m., right? All right, yes, 4 a.m. Pacific time. Okay. So this person could be a narcissist because the fashion designer is somebody that's stylish, meticulous in what they wear, and meticulous in meaning like they have to wear a certain type of brand or a certain type of like styled clothing, or they have to have some sort of type of perfume or a specific type of shoes or a specific type of pants or something like that. Okay, it's very significant. So this person, he'll dress you up, but he'll critique your shoes. The farmer is somebody who is hardworking. They seem like they're grounded, right? This is someone that puts in a lot of work. All right. This could be literally in the things that they do for themselves. Maybe they put in a lot of work in their appearance. Okay. Um, they're up with the roosters, asleep before prime time. So this person wakes up super early, but they're usually asleep early too. Um, that being said, this could be someone that goes to work very, very early, which is funny because I've been up since 6 in the morning Eastern time, right? Um, so that could be significant. Maybe this person gets up like, I don't know, maybe 4 or 5 in the morning, your time frame, or maybe this person gets up, maybe they'll be up that late. There's something about they'll be up that late or up to that late and then they go to sleep early. I don't know. Something's up with that. We have the carpenter, handy and reliable. He'll build you your dream house, but never finish the kitchen. Oh, he'll build you your dream house, but never finish the kitchen. So this person it's almost like they'll build this reality for you and stuff like that, but they won't ever finish, right? There's something about never finishing something that they started and the Blue Jay came back. So there could be an arrival of someone that's like coming back and forth. Okay. Carpenter came out again after I shuffled. Okay. And we have the 9 here. 18 is a 9. 19, 9, 9, 9. Okay. 1, 9, 9. Okay. Could be significant too. Wow. Okay, you guys. We have the bad boy. Okay. Somebody could be a smoker. They don't have to be. This person, I feel like, is rebellious. They're unpredictable. This is not, someone that, you could rely on necessarily. He's fire, thrilling to the touch, but you might get burned. All right. And that could be the reason why you're healing. Because that bad boy energy, they just got to do something wrong all the time. All right. And I feel like that rebellious nature, it was not helping you, especially with the gaslighting, right? So the gaslighting was like they did something wrong, and then we're like, oh, I didn't do nothing wrong. You were the one that did something wrong, right? The therapist I talked about, maybe talking it out is not just enough. Maybe it's a combination of things: talking it out, writing about it, doing maybe spiritual practices and Reiki, and you know, reprogramming your mind. So maybe like hypnotherapy, and there's a whole bunch of different ways that you can heal. So many different ways, so many different forms. We have supportive and insightful. He'll understand your problems and bill you for it. That is funny. So it's almost like this person is like, okay, I understand what you need help with. Let me help you, but then let me throw it back in your face. It's kind of like that energy. Like, I'm going to help you, but then I'm going to throw it back in your face. Like, you remember that time that I helped you? Or, I lent you this money. I paid for that. So, I don't know. Like, it's very, like, arrogant. It's coming off very arrogant, self-centered. Let's see what else. Then we have the architect. You guys let me know which one really, really resonates the most, right? Is it the therapist, the bad boy, the fashion designer, the farmer, or the carpenter, or the architect? The architect. All right. We talked about, the carpenter, about, building your dream house, but never finishing the kitchen. The architect is someone that's thoughtful and precise. So again, with the gaslighting, this is somebody that is a manipulator. They know exactly what to say to set you off so that way you react. They know exactly how to do something to make you get all confuzzled and frustrated, and you know what I'm saying. So this talks about being thoughtful and precise. Okay, great at layouts, bad at laying out emotions. So they can go ahead and set you off. They know how to trigger you, but they don't know how to diffuse you. That's what I'm seeing here again with the angel number 3. 3 is significant, right? That could be something that you need to work on. And then we have the detective here. This person asks a lot of questions, but they ask a lot of questions to get the information that they need to manipulate you. Does that make sense? Okay. That's the person that you was dealing with. Oh, girl. That's a lot. All right, last messages. And this is the heart's hidden secrets. Okay. Let's get to the bottom of this. And I'm not going to pull the dice on this. I'm just going to see whatever falls out. Okay. Whatever falls out, falls out. What do they truly need to know with this crow call? What do they truly need to know with this crow call? Okay. Chasing. This person's chasing you. All right. But it's toxic. It's toxic. It's almost like you're running away. You want to heal. Right. And yeah, I'm going to say it. Yeah, you're running away. You're making it look like it's not running away, but it is running away. You're hiding yourself on social media. Right. They can't see you on social media. That's the equivalent of you hiding. Right. You're blocking them, restricting them access to you. That's the equivalent of you hiding. Right. You're hiding yourself. You're hiding your posts. Right. You're not just being you anymore. Now you're being so much more calculated on where you share things, how you share things, how often you share things, what you share. And it's getting to the point that like you're basically still being micromanaged by the same person. You get what I'm saying? We have a breaking point here. We have obsession. This person's obsessed with you. All right. This person's overwhelmed that they have to chase you. This person is not a chaser. Okay. Again, they're a narcissist. So usually it's all about them. We have rejection. They feel rejected by you. We have lusting. This person still has sexual attraction to you. Hopeless. This is a lot of energy. I'm going to tell you, this person is falling apart because they can't have access to you anymore. All right. But we don't really care about that. You know what we care about? We care about you. So if we're caring about you, how do you feel not being able to post your location? How do you feel? And now I'm seeing a red-winged blackbird. How do you feel when you can't share that you're dating someone new, or that you started a healthy relationship, or that you started a happy family, or that you started a new job and you're happy, or that you started your new business? How do you feel about that? Because this person, regardless, was going to lose you. That's what your spiritual team is saying. It was supposed to play out this way. They were supposed to lose you. You were the lesson. They had a karmic experience, and then they had you. They went back to the karmic experience, then they went back to you. And then you decided to break it off with them because you know what? I'm not doing all that. I'm not someone's second choice. You're not going to get a second chance with me to hurt me again, right? And so, like, this person, they see you as resilient, but they're overwhelmed because they can't get, their grapple hook on you again, right? That they can't get their hands on you again. They can't manipulate you, right? So this person is addicted to your energy, all right? If it's the other version of the third party or whatever, the third party is addicted to getting readings on you because they have their own wounds that they have not healed, that they are trying to basically fill the void with you. All right, trying to figure out like, are they going to be together, or are they still active, sexually together? Who abandoned who, and they're getting a kick out of this. Okay, sorrow. So it's like, don't be involved in third party situations. And when I say don't be involved in third party situations, I'm not saying that you sitting there, trying to figure out what's going on with the next person, right? Specifically with the old romantic partner. But what I am saying is make sure that anybody connected to that situation doesn't involve you in that. Okay. And that may mean, you know, knowing when to show up in a place and knowing when not to, you know, knowing when to pick up a phone and knowing when not to, right? What do they need to know for this protocol? Yeah, sexual energy, non-committal energy, dismissed, abandoned, irritated, irrational fear, infatuation, escaping. See, you're not the one that's escaping. It's not you. It's this person. Like, this person is trying to avoid owning up to what they did. Okay. So if anything, the person that you're healing from is pushing you, like pushing you away, like, all right, whatever, I don't care about that. But in reality, they want to chase you. They're pushing you away so you chase them. It's a really like a, what is that called? Like reverse psychology. All right. But the thing here is it's not working. You're not chasing. All right. So they're doing this thing where like they'll block you and then they'll unblock you to see like what you're gonna do next. It's like you remember that old game? I don't know if they still got it, but you remember that old, little feature or whatever on Facebook where like I would poke you and then you poke me back and we keep poking each other back and forth. It's kind of like that, but with blocking. Angel number 111-1111. Okay. But you've mastered that already. Like that's why your spiritual team is like, listen, work on your spiritual protection spiritually. Be good spiritually on your protection. Physically, do what you're going to do. Post what you're going to post. Don't stop living your life. Releasing. Letting go. This is a third confirmation of letting go. Move on. Walk away. Moving on and walking away doesn't mean going back to the conversation and having the conversation over and over and over again. Right? It doesn't mean answering the phone and having the same argument over and over and over again. It doesn't mean having the same conversation through text messages over and over and over again. It means I said what I said, I'm going to leave, and that's it. If I see you and if I bump into you in a store, if I bump into you in an event, if for whatever the fuck reason you're around my neighborhood, or we end up in the same physical location in front of each other, then we'll deal with it then. But I'm not going to reach out to you and tell you when I saw you, and you should not be reaching out to me and telling me that you were thinking about me or that you want to talk about. No, that's it. End of discussion. There's nothing else for us to say. Healthy boundaries. That's the healthy boundaries. All right. Somebody feels called out, but it is what it is. All right. Because that's the game that they're playing. Chemistry, obsession. All right. This person's addicted to you. Addiction is chemical. Okay. And so like this person's attraction to you is like just as it would be an addiction to a drug. Okay. So I'm gonna say either it is the version of the third party that is addicted to this person that you're healing from sex. Okay. They're addicted to sex, or the both of them are sex addicts or whatever. And like you had to heal from a sexual addiction or something like that. Okay, somebody had to heal from a sexual addiction. All right, somebody dealt with somebody that has a sexual addiction, and which is completely different than promiscuity. Sexual addiction is like someone gets the satisfaction or the some sort of emotional connection through sex. Okay, they identify sex as love, and that is not love. Sex is something very sacred and stuff like that. But then for you to, for a sex addict specifically, it's almost like they look for love instantly in an instant gratification type of form. If we're talking about this narcissist in the form of a sex addict, that means that this person will only love you for the short period of time they finally ejaculate. Then they don't love you anymore. Then they want to leave. Then they want to push you away, right? They want to discard you. So They did the same thing to the third party that, again, for those of you that's a version that is spying on you and stuff like that. They did that. They the same exact thing that they did to you, they did to the third party. Now the third party is trying to figure out if they did that to you, and they are happy. The third party is happy to know that they wasn't the only one. So basically, oh, okay, I'm not the only one. He did that to that person. He did this to this person, right? Basically, the third party is trying to fill in the gaps of like what happened to them versus what happened between you and the person you're healing from. Okay, to kind of get some sort of closure on their part. This person that you're healing from is just out here doing it to each and every person that they're around willy-nilly, and they just, on to the next one, on to the next one. Let me see if I can get this one back. On to the next one. Let me see if I can get that one back. On to the next one. Over and over and over and over again, because it's a sexual addiction. So that spark that the both of you guys had wasn't necessarily love. It was love in their eyes, and love in their eyes was sex. So if I were to translate that to you on what you felt based off of what I'm seeing, you felt like you had a deep emotional connection with this person, and that this was going to last a really long time. They built a dream home, right, in your mind for you, and they didn't finish the freaking kitchen. Okay, they disappointed you. That was a disappointment. Angel number 555. So certain things changed, conflict with rejection. This person is conflicted. All right, the person that you're healing from is conflicted. Like, oh, it worked this many times. It worked for this many months or for this many years, and why is it not working now? Right. They're starting to feel like, oh, maybe we're incompatible, or maybe I'm hearing this one's defective. Like, no, like, you're defective. That's crazy. All right, obscurity with lusting. All right, secrets, mysteries, conceal. They're not going to tell you that they have sexual energy towards you. They're not going to tell you that they have, oh my gosh, I cannot believe this. I just heard. They're not going to tell you about their fantasies, about you and the third party and this person that you're healing from together in a bedroom having sex. What? Are you? This person's out of their mind. They're out there. No. Emotional storm. Trapped. Realizations. Like, they know that it's not going to get that far. So that all they can do is tap into the energy and tap into the energy and tap into. That's all they can do. So for you, it is affecting you energetically, and it is affecting your healing journey. So, you got to be careful moving forward. You got to be careful with your energy if you're an empath. You got to be careful with your spiritual essence, your spiritual energy, especially when it comes to, your healing journey. And so pay attention to like your dreams, pay attention to telepathic downloads, pay attention to any heart pulls or chakra pulls, right? Working on Reiki healing, working on grounding techniques, working on cleansing your energy, right? So cleansing this nasty energy off of you. Some of you guys, it may be time for another energetic cord removal. Because again, and I'm going to be honest, I don't think it's a cord removal. It's a energetic hook and unentangling of energy. Okay. Because I don't feel like there's actual cords there, because you walked away and you disconnected. I just feel like this person is trying to wrap you up in their energy. So they're wrapping you up in their energy because they're lusting over you. They're, they have mixed feelings and stuff like that. They're just like projecting energy onto you that is not your own. And it's causing this emotional storm for you. It's causing the back and forth of like, okay, maybe I should react. Maybe I should talk to this person, or maybe I should curse them out one more time, right? Full moon energy. What happened around the full moon? Girl, listen. Okay, I'm going to leave it like this. You guys comment down below and let me know how this resonates for y'all. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. Peace.